few days ago, I made a video all about making sloe ink, and I said, I am confused. This is nothing unusual, because when I tested it, and this is on very cheap quality watercolour paper, it went blue. Then I painted it in my nice little watercolour sketchbook. It stayed pink. What's going on? You, the wonderful viewers, said it's about acid and alkali. I reckon it's about the buffering on the paper. I assumed my nice watercolour sketchbook was acid free because that's what good watercolour paper is. But it appears that this is acidic and it is keeping the ink, this lovely plummy colour. Put it on what I thought was the sort of cheap and cheerful paper, and it is alkaline, and therefore it's turning blue. I have found some litmus paper. I have some acid, which is malt vinegar. I have some alkali, which is bicarbonate of soda, and I thought we could test and see what's going on. I've ripped a sheet out of this book. This is actually distilled water that I'm putting on here, and I thought, first of all, I'll just put some clean water on my papers and see how the litmus paper actually reacts with that. I'm just going to put that one there, and I'm going to put that one there. You may remember from school, litmus paper changes colour with the acidity of what's going on. pH, neutral would be the 7. If it goes red, it means it's acidic. If it goes green, it means it's alkaline and going right up to sort of a dark purple. Here, it's staying yellow, which makes me think it is mildly acidic. This one, good grief, gosh, that's going really green. It's even, look, coming out into the water, probably up to a, what would you say, up to about a 9? So that was Bockingford, and this one, again, really alkaline. This surprises me, because we always talk about papers being acid free. I assumed it was a sort of a neutral pH, but these are really alkaline, and this one is lightly acidic. Let's just pop some of my lovely sloe ink here, and let's mix up a little solution of bicarbonate of soda, and we can test that out. So you can see it's immediately turning my litmus paper green. That is my alkaline. There you go, that was my vinegar, and you can see that's acidic. If I put my bicarb into my ink, does it turn it blue? Well, there's your answer, absolutely. If I put some acid back into it, does it turn it back pink? Yes, it does. Let's put the ink on our acid paper, the ink on our alkaline paper, and we'll just monitor the colour change. You can already see that blue in, what, less than a minute. So what I'm really tempted to do is to mix up a solution of that bicarb of soda and brush it all over there to see what happens. Then I'm going to dry it, and then I might brush vinegar all over it and see whether it changes back again. I've got a bigger brush there. I'm a little bit nervous. Put it over. Oh, well, there you go. Ta-da! Alkaline acid. Right. I'm going to put, I've got vinegar in there. Now this may fizz because vinegar with bicarb of soda does react and will give off carbon dioxide. So I may have some fizzy art here, which will be interesting. There. Yay! Look, it's gone pink again. Oh, that's so cool. But yes, so alkaline, acid, alkaline, and we've got really acid paper. Let's just go back again. So that is my cheap and nasty watercolour paper. obviously very alkaline. This is Bockingford that I use all the time. So we've got less of a colour shift, certainly less alkaline. And then we've got this, which was the paper out of this little Lightwish book, which is really acid. I blow dried this and I've lost my little bit of litmus paper. It blew away. But that was the acid paper and it stayed pink. Who says that art and science don't mix?